Last week, he was not able to make it into studio, but we said we're trying a different formula for 2025. All right, now, ideally, what we're going to do is we're going to try and get two advocates. So we're going to, there's always two sides, and some of these people would say three sides to every story.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So he's finally made it into studio. He took a turn in this studio sometime, was it last year? And now he's back like he's never left. All right. He's my brother from another mother. He is advocate Martin Okonji Wanjira Esquire. And Wakili, hold on. We have got a way to welcome you. It's not traditional Luo folk song, but just a round of applause. Karibu sana Wakili.
Thanks for having me.
Are you well?
I'm good.
Indeed. So can you talk into the microphone, please? Bas, there we go. Now, don't worry, it's not even you. Even Mariam had a thing when she's learning now. Wakili, listen, so first of all, going forward, you see, he's old school, Mariam, like that. Because we asked you, what are your handles? But it was, we're sorting that out.
Yeah,
and the name of the practice, please.
Okonji Wanjira and Associates.
There we go. Okonji Wanjira and Associates. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Now, let's say, jump to it. So, it's Legal Tuesday. Now, with climate change and global warming, even Nairobi, the rain is coming in sideways these days. Yes? And with all of this water, 2 months from today, you'll still be carrying buckets kwa sababu nisema tunaomba serikali. Lakini now the water is just going to waste. Doesn't make sense at all. But you know what? I say this and I mention this because an advocate has taken his time on this Tuesday to do the Lord's work, which means he has come all the way. And Lord's work in legal speak is pro bono. You have yourself a legal question. Send it to us. We shall pitch it to him and then you shall get a reply. Now, with that reply, you can either be satisfactorious and say, okay, Safi, or otherwise, with his reply, you can decide to seek legal redress and or remedy by going into their same said practices. Lakini ukienda kwao kwa ofisi, utafungua file. Na hiyo file hautafungua na bajia. M-Pesa minimum. So speaking of going to places, Esquire, what we usually do is, we ask of questions because there are certain things that have happened in the world over the past 7 days. And instead of us debating on platforms like X, we have got expertise like yourself in studio and we want reply. Now, one thing that us Kenyans, by the way, that has been in the news, is lawyers, Kenyans, the Chief Justice, the Honorable Martha Koome. Okay, so we saw the other day, Mariam, that she's got that, she caused a kerfuffle. Should we call it? Is that being fair?
Yeah.
She caused, was it her who caused the ruckus or her people? They said 3 of her bodyguards.
It's her, definitely.
Yeah, it's her, ne? Yes. 3 of her bodyguards were, they said, well, the title was, what we read was Withdrawal of Chief Justice Bodyguards. We're like, oh, man, she has no security now, okay? But Kumbi, it was just 3 out of 39 or 32, all right? And I counted them today. She's got 9 drivers. Yeah. How many drivers can one person actually need, Esquire? Why does she have so many? Do we know? Do we care as wakilis? Is it a waste of resources?
Obviously, it is a waste.
Yes.
I can't really... I'm trying to look at the legal basis.
Yes.
Which is a bit... this is just administrative.
Yes.
But I think that issue of 30-something, I think it is being...
extravagant.
Being extravagant.
Yes.
So
what I know is that I think they need to have one at their rural home.
But
their urban home.
Right.
Maybe I think then a few to run around with.
Right.
I think that is enough.
That's enough.
How about the family?
Yes.
Are they protected also?
No, why should they? They don't hold the title of a Chief Justice.
But yes. So that should be across the board.
Actually, when it comes to spouses,
yes,
the provisions are only for the president And of late, I've seen the deputy president
Bas.
and the prime cabinet.
Said yes.
Which was actually hidden.
Yes.
It had no basis. That's why the money was withdrawn.
Bas.
I didn't know that the chief cabinet secretary's wife also has an office.
You know?
She was being given 800 million.
Right.
Budget.
Yes.
It is,
It's a waste.
I think sometimes we joke too much.
And then there's still they withdrew. They tried to withdraw that because of the Gen Z demonstrations.
Yes.
But the first daughter still has an office as well, right?
Even that title is not there.
It doesn't exist in the Constitution.
Yes, it doesn't exist.
Now then, speaking of the Constitution,
then there'll be a first granddaughter.
But
But from what legal angle do you challenge that, and how come no one has done it yet?
These things, most of them, you just come to realize about them when someone leaks them out. Others, no one would have known such things.
Right.
But you see, for the title, as of now, you cannot lay any basis that the first daughter
yes.
has a budget.
Right.
You cannot place it anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it comes from the other side, Maybe the title is still within the State House.
Right.
Now maybe the provision is still
within
inside the State House
office.
budget.
Yes. Oh, I see.
You get?
Indeed, yes.
Yes.
We're going to talk about State House in a bit, but first let's finish on matters, CJ. Now, obviously, as an advocate, you are a member of the Law Society of Kenya.
Yes.
And there's one of your senior members, well, we'd say two, who are, some would say they're on a crusade. And this crusade is the Chief Justice must go. And if by extension, not only the CJ, but also the Supremes. Okay. Now, they said they are given certain timelines for a particular law firm, all right, to get their advocates to be heard. The word is heard, by the Supreme Court. Lack thereof would have meant that they were going to take the LSK through. The chair came out last week and said, if these people are not heard, then we shall take other measures. So yesterday, advocate, the judiciary came out with a reply for yesterday's Monday 27th. And they said a press statement on the threatened occupation of the Supreme Court of Kenya. And it started with, the judiciary has noted with concern a statement issued by the LSK dated 23rd January, urging its membership to occupy the Supreme Court to protest a decision of the Supreme Court, recusing itself from hearing and determining any matter by Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi SC and his law firm or associates. It goes on to say, it is instructive that this matter is before the courts, including the East Africa Court of Justice, the Court of Appeal, and the High Courts of Kenya. The matters, then they listed the matters. So in conclusion, the statement says, we therefore wish to urge LSK members as officers of the court that fully understand the import of the sub judice rule, that and the significance of observing the rule of law, to refrain from proceeding with the threatened action. It is imperative that we allow and seek lawful and peaceful means to address the matter at hand. That was the statement. You guys as membership, have you advocates now huddled together and said, the court is making sense, ama bado, this we shall occupy is still going on? Or is that an unfair question, Wakil?
No, you see, there's the Advocates Act.
Yes.
After all the hassle until you become an advocate,
right,
you swear to be an advocate of the High Court of Kenya.
Pass.
I swore to be one. Ahmed Nasir did so did Koome. You get me? No one is higher than the other. There is no way the Supreme Court can say you cannot appear before us. You get me? Because they're actually telling you cannot practice before us, which is wrong. The Advocates Act spells how you can be removed from being an advocate. There is no such provision that the Supreme Court can tell you not to appear. Because once you give that precedence, even magistrates will start telling us, you can't appear before me, you don't look good. You know. So how will we work? Okay. And what I know is it is Abed Nasir personally who has been barred from practice at the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Not his associates. This issue of the associates, now is when I'm getting to know about it. But I will tell you for a fact, whatever the Supreme Court has done is wrong. I don't even know why they have to go. I don't know for interpretation. You Court of East Africa, what? It's just nonsense, you know. Let us be truthful to one another.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
And then now when you have a funny fella as the Chief Justice,
yes,
you know,
yes,
there's some bright minds under her. But now you see, once you have a cartoon,
right,
you see, what do you expect?
Wow, he's taken a stand. Now,
yeah, that's my stand.
And that said, but what if can judges recuse themselves? So what if all of them
only on particular matters?
Aha.
And this one, maybe the defendant is a relative of mine, or I've handled this matter before, yes, and I've read the judgment,
yes,
which now if I continue on appeal or on this and this,
yes,
I'll look biased because of what I'd issued before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
There are circumstances anyway,
yes,
but on specific matters.
Yes.
But when you tell someone you can never appear before me.
So we cannot, there cannot be a personality issue that will say apana. No. Personality and profession are two different things.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, now let's talk matters State House.
State House. So when it comes to State House, I know that legally as a tenant I'm not allowed to renovate a house that I'm actually renting. So when it comes to State House, we know that they've been doing a lot of renovations. Every 5 years they do that, right? Is that legally right? And who is the landlord to approve these renovations?
I like that.
First of all, you know, William Ruto is not a tenant. He's not paying rent there. That is a government infrastructure.
Yes.
Yes. State House is a government. Actually, State House is a parastatal, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
By the way, it's an institution.
It's an institution in its own. It's like office up at CBK.
Bus.
Yes, that's how State House is. So he doesn't pay rent. If he has, have you seen his list?
Oh, by the way, okay.
He doesn't.
Okay.
Yes.
So tenancy does not apply in this at all?
Yes, he's not a tenant.
So what are you saying then, Esquire? What? Because this is as Kenyans, we are. You saw what happened over the weekend.
It just goes through the normal procurement procedures. You get me? Yes, there are people who sit and say, now we need to renovate this place. Yes. What is the budget? This, and that's how it happens.
Okay. Yes. So what you're saying is that the president...
He'll live with prosperity. Even the person will come in will find the renovations there. He won't live with the renovations.
Okay.
Yes.
No, but...
Yes, when you come, if you are the next president, you'll find the toilet there.
No, but what I was asking... Because Wakili, they are... This is setting a very dangerous precedent, because we know, like the office, not the office, was it residence or office, whatever, the DP's residence.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think, in fact, Ruto was Occupy number 1, don't he?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But it was built during the Kibaki's time.
Kibaki's time.
Now,
Kalonzo almost got it. Almost.
Yes.
Yes.
But everyone who goes in there, now they're renovating the damn thing. Right?
Yes.
Ruto, of course, it was new, but they renovated it.
Yes.
Don't you?
Yes.
Then now then obviously Rigiji entered there, renovated the damn thing.
Yes.
Been there 2 years, ne? Then Jakababa thought, I've seen, Kindiki was given some 600 mic.
Yes.
Do your best.
To
renovate the damn thing.
Yes.
Is it not setting a very dangerous precedent? No, actually, the question I want to ask you. Can a Kenyan sit somewhere and say, for example, like the Macmillan Library?
Yes.
I don't know if it's a historical site, but it's not renovated. Can somebody come to your chambers and say, because we love litigation in this country, let's lose some tata. Come and say, Wakili, I want these guys to stop renovating that building because it's a historical site. Can we do that? That building being State House. Because then that means anyone, every 5 years, somebody can come. By the way, I don't like these columns.
You see, no, when you first start with the deputy president's house, whatever it is,
yes,
the one in Karen,
Yebo.
you know that house value is around 300 and something million.
You know,
And they're renovating it for
600
twice.
bus.
So it's like they're building 2 more. You get?
Right.
Yes.
But no, funny, not funny.
Okay, let me just call it a spade.
Yes.
The issue is this.
Yes.
They renovate so that they can steal money.
Exactly.
You get me?
Yes.
Yes, that's just a form of corruption.
Bus.
Yes.
Is there any clause legally
Because
that can allow? Okay, sorry.
When Raila was the prime minister,
yes,
this building, what is the name of this building where he was opposite the president?
Esso, Shell,
yes,
or the Esso, Ajing.
It was
no, to Shell,
Kennel something.
Kennel, yes.
Yes. And then, he wasn't there for long, and then Ruto came in.
Yes.
It was renovated. The whole building was, I think, around 1.2 billion.
Yes.
It was renovated for 800 million.
And it's like they built another one.
Yes. And now they removed, there's a government store where these things are put.
Yes.
Yes. They just rot there, the carpets and all that. It's that bad.
So my question was, is it possible to actually sue is it the office of the president that deals with that?
You can sue the president while he's in office.
Okay.
So is it possible to sue the government for just wastage, period?
You can only sue if you find that there's some discrepancies in that allocation.
But you can't just say they're wasting money.
Yes. You have to show they're wasting.
No, okay. But last year, was it last year, but one? Yeah?
Yes.
Speaking of wasting, we know the car park was tarmac since Kenyatta 1.
Yes.
Right? Then Ruto Inget, they put cabro. They didn't like that one. They put another cabro. Now, apparently, as they're doing the roof, they're removing the cabro because they say this cabro is not good. That's not wastage.
It is wastage, but
I can't come to you as a. I was about to mention the name of Tata, but I'm not as Edward Kenny and say, this is too much. I'm tired. Kwanzaa, I'm paying SHAF, NSSF, Nini, 41%, 45. I'm tired.
You have to lay basis on your claim. You don't know the type of contracts they had, whether this particular person, contravened it, and
So what happens then? That means I've got to go to.
But what I'll tell you definitively is that is just a form of corruption.
The corruption.
Yes, that one I can tell you.
I like that.
With authority.
There are no if, buts, or whats.
Yes.
Now,
but the person eating, I don't know.
But
yes.
So legally you can't stop it because there's no basis.
Yes.
Now, then there's matters gender. Okay. Do we have how many sexes according to the law do we have in Kenya?
2.
So what is intersex?
I've told you 2.
Come on.
Yes, those ones I don't know.
Okay, because you
have so many terms, eh?
Yes.
But the ones that are recognized in law,
Okay.
Male, female.
Yes.
Yes.
Now we're apparently doing did you do the census in 2019?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I know I was counted last time.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, did you answer all the questions? Oh, you're inside the house.
Yes.
Very good.
The one with the issue of the boat.
Bus. And yes, those boats. And then
we need one now.
Yes, and then obviously Ruto has agreed where Trump, like we said early on, he's landed running. And Donald DJT, obviously his wisdom said, hey, you guys, let's be clear.
Yes.
There are 2 sexes. Okay? You're either a male or you are female. These are the ones. Sorry, forget. Wait until 4 years' time minimum to see what's going on. All right? Now, apparently, our president, because obviously we've got to, that time it's called pack her up. Okay? And kiss what?
The A.
Okay. That's for Apple.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. So now our president has agreed that there are only 2 genders. Intersex, is it being recognized as a 3rd gender in Kenya? Right? Apparently it was one of the questions during the census. Was it there? Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So I've just got to ask because there's nothing but love between the 2 of us. Were you drinking on that night?
No.
Okay, we were sober.
Yes. But intersex is a gender.
Okay.
That's a gender, definitely.
Really? What is
intersex?
Me? Yes, please. What is intersex?
Intersex is when you're born with
you mean like Castor Semenya?
Yes. You have both.
It can't be inter. Actually, I was waiting for you.
Hermaphrodite.
So.
You can't be.
What I know is, I'm not a scientist, but one organ is the one that is active.
Okay.
But how will they determine?
As much as there are 2, one was one.
I don't know why I'm finding this funny. But go ahead. Yes.
Yes.
There's
the little I've read about it.
Yes.
Is that in as much, it's one organ that functions.
I love it.
So you are supposed to assimilate yourself with that organ.
Pass.
Can I interject?
Please.
Yes.
You won't know which organ is active until you're of a certain age. At birth, you won't know. I've listened to documentaries. I've had them interviewing intersex people, and it's true that when they get to about 15, 16, 13, that's when they get to know which one is really active.
Okay.
Yes, so you cannot determine that at birth.
So what is written on the birth certificate?
The mother decides which one to write, but biologically,
The
you're
mother,
both.
the mother, not the doctor.
Well, I guess they usually ask the mother to pick. which
Really?
gender- yes.
In Kenya?
From the documentaries I've watched, yes.
Okay, but that was not based here in Kenya, though.
It was here in Kenya.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay.
The
That's-
mother
yes.
chose for the child, but the child, when he got to about 14,
Yes.
well, he started feeling the male feelings.
Why the mother?
That's a very good question, Kwach.
Yes.
But
I just want to know, why were we left out? The Zach was there.
Mothers don't know the
he said
instincts.
yes.
I see. Oh, so she's the one who decides.
Yes.
Those are the laws that we need to address, by the way. So, listen.
So legally, legally gender is determined by biology, right? It has to be biologically
Yes.
defined.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So, thank you. So those were the general questions making news around this our world in the past 7 days. The news is
He
speaking of news,
still did not respond to one thing, though.
which you're going to ask him when we get back after the news.
Okay.
You will bring it up. Ne? So listen. So it is Legal Tuesday. We're going to get back to Advocate Martin Wanjira, Esquire. Next. In studio today, partner at Wanjira Okonji and Associates, right? I got that right?
Okonji Wanjira.
Okonji Wanjira and Associates. It is Advocate Martin Wanjira Okonji Esquire is in studio. Listen, he's here to answer your legal questions. You need to live stream this, and to live stream this, it's live on Facebook. Get on to spicefm.co.ke. We still have matters of interest that are making questions. Before we get to the legal question at hand today, there are matters of interest that came up over the past 1 week, and obviously over the past 1 week before the news, we did say that President Donald Trump, all right, Trump 47, got into office Monday last week. Mm-hmm. Wow, time has flown, eh?
Yes.
And then, you know what, he literally hit the ground running. And he said there are only two sexes in Stato, that is male and female. So all of this thing about gender fluid, it's blah, blah, blah. There were so many titles. Mm-hmm. Those are out. And of course our president, because you know what? Biden is gone. Guess what? You are my buddy and we need you, Stato. So President William Ruto, this is what he backs Donald Trump's recognition of only two biological sexes, male and female, says, listen, Maria, directive aligns with the core beliefs of the Kenyan faith and is firmly rooted in Kenyan traditions. Okay? So firmly aligns, with the core beliefs of Kenyan faith and is firmly rooted in Kenyan traditions. So that means I cannot be is it illegal to be transgender in Kenya?
It's not illegal. You are born with,
Buzz.
you're born like that.
Yes. You're born a man.
Yes.
Okay. And you were asking something that you needed clarification is in terms of before the news
the
on intersex.
Yes. There's a time back that I saw the intersex community going to court, and I thought that they were actually seeking to be legally recognized as a separate gender. Is that what was happening at that time?
The way they term it, this intersex. These ones who went to court, they were, is it gays and this? So, first there has to be a distinction. Who are we talking about?
You're talking about the...
I think they are, or maybe they are mixed. But those who went to court, they went to get an order to be allowed to register an association. Because they had tried to go to the registrar of companies and whatnot.
Yes.
And they were denied that particular request.
They are seeking to be recognized.
No, they wanted to register an association.
Okay.
So when they were denied is when they went to court. So court gave an order that they be allowed to register it.
Okay. So
To only that extent.
but
So I don't know what you mean by recognition, but that is the only substantive case that has been in court, and it has only been determined to that extent.
Okay, so my last question regarding this.
Because when you talk about recognition, I take it in a way that when a particular minority group goes to court and then they are recognized, let's say as a tribe or this and this, you get me?
Yes. You
know
but
what,
that was not the extent.
I think recognition in this case means to be treated fairly.
Fairly to the extent of registering that company, that association.
Yeah, because there's
Because what the court was looking at was the freedom of expression and association. So they went to, under that premise.
Okay, now
That
in the case that...
if these freedoms are inherent to a human being, it does not say that you can only associate if you are a male or a female.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
In the case that they want to be recognized as a separate gender,
Yes.
is this a constitutional issue or a legal issue?
A constitutional issue is still a legal issue.
So they can approach it.
I like that.
It is now under what when you go for redress in court, you must have a premise that you are going with. Are you going under constitutional review? Are you going under civil suit? Are you going under defamation? This and this. So they first have to have a basis.
And the reason why I asked that is because why I separated the two is because are they supposed to take it to Parliament for debate, or are they supposed to fight it in the court and then it's taken to Parliament?
What I can say in brief is that recognition therefore precipitates legislation.
Okay.
I cannot legislate what does not exist.
Okay.
So if today we want to say that we want to have a legislation about this and this, yet we don't even recognize them. We can have legislation about fisheries or fishing, and we don't have water. We don't have even any water body in the country.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So there are channels that have to be followed. But what was in court was only to the extent that they were barred from registering an association. But then the court overruled the registrar. Yes.
Okay. Now, speaking of the courts,
Yes.
Wakili,
And I don't know, to just take the discussion further,
yes,
there are some things when, if you allow, you just let it open, you open a Pandora's box.
yes,
And to the extent of this one, I'm moving a bit off legality,
Yes.
but morality.
yes,
Most of these practices have become commercial. You're getting me?
yes. Oh, because
That
they get
someone
funding.
is not actually
Yes.
gay or whatever, he's
but
doing it for money.
money. Yeah, you get funding an NGO, nini, human rights, nini,
Yes.
And that is now the wrong direction to take.
But
Let those people who indeed are
yeah.
of this particular nature
yes,
be given
yes,
that right.
Yes.
the only debate here is that intersex is a biological issue.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you.
Them to that extent.
Yes.
But if you open it, it's a funny thing. It's
I
actually a tourist attraction.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know? I want us to come back to that because I've sent you something, Wakili,
Yes.
and you look it up, right? And then you will tell us what that ruling meant. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's it. Speaking of rulings, one more issue. We'll get back to that one.
Okay.
Is one Benjamin took a mobile service provider to court, okay, and apparently the court ruled that once when you buy airtime, blah blah blah. So it was about bonga points. So once bonga points are awarded, the points become the customer's property, and the mobile service provider ceases to have any rights over them. Mobile service provider has no right to change or introduce new terms on the points already earned. What does that mean, Wakili?
We come to terms and conditions apply.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you amended your conditions after I was ready in, you cannot play around with me. You only apply to those people who are coming. Because they are coming knowing these are the terms.
Right.
But you cannot change for me terms when I'm already there.
Right.
Yes.
So does that mean going forward we have now gone back to default setting? Because can you even remember the original? Do we know the original terms and conditions? That's the thing.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
Do you know the original terms and conditions?
You know, even their package, their what can I call? What are these?
Their offers.
Their offers have been changing with time.
Exactly.
Bonga Point wasn't there.
Yes.
During Nokia.
There we go.
Yes.
So so how relevant? To ask is the ruling.
There's this of. Is it the postpaid? The one that was previously, was it 1,000 shillings?
Yes.
And then they scotched it and brought is it 2.5?
Bus.
Yes. And then again they tell you, I think after a month you cannot transfer.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that is for a month. It's for a month. Yes.
So if you've not utilized it,
Emenda. Yes. So does that then? I'm sorry to use this because you're a lawyer. Is then that the ruling redundant?
When you're dealing with technology is still a bit different. We are trying together. Even if you look at our legislations in terms of ICT, IT, and all that, we are still a bit behind. But we'll get there, because this one is what gives these particular institutions the muscle to abuse. Because there's the issue that Safaricom, to say the truth, is like they're operating on their own.
Yeah.
It's like
they're huge.
Yes.
All right. So now that means we come to this week's legal question. Thanks for answering those questions, Advocate. And today somebody has written in, and this is what they have to ask. They've written in, it says, Hi, Wakili. I was raised by adoptive parents, although they did not formally adopt me through the legal process. They took me in after my mother, who was a teenage mom, passed away when I was just a few months old. Now, as an adult, I have traced my roots and found my biological father. I have a few questions. Do I have any legal entitlement to inherit from my biological father? And if I pursue this, would I risk losing the inheritance my adoptive father has already included me in his will? And lastly, since my adoptive father did not legally adopt me, could his biological children contest my status as his child? Wow. This is a good, proper introduction. Usually it's one question. Here they've asked you 7.
That's a very good question, actually.
Yes. And
there are a number of things.
Yes. So when we get back, we shall Advocate Martin Wanjira Konji will give us, first of all, the legal interpretation, what the law says, and then clearly, as an advocate, he's going to advise on these salient points. Do you know anyone who has been through this process, who is going through this process? What is your advice? What was your experience? 0719 sorry, you're funny. Get onto Spice FM KE and then Tom Oni. It's Legal Tuesday. Advocate Martin Wanjira Okonji Esquires in the building. Gonna be Time waits for no person. It is Tuesday. It is Legal Tuesday, this and every Tuesday. We get advocates of the High Court of Kenya to basically come in here and do the Lord's work, which means they answer your questions pro bono. So you've got yourself a legal question. You're not sure whether to go into the wakili's chambers, but to do that, as soon as you get to the chambers, lazima ufungue file. Na kufungua file, you need do. Yeah, bwana. So we get them here once a week. Come rain or shine, wako hapa tu.
Yes.
Okay. And you ask that question of us, then we shall ask of them, and they'll give you an answer. If it is satisfactory to your heart's content, bus, you go forth and make hay. Otherwise, then part 2 is that indeed you go to their chambers na muongee kiwasee. in studio today, man. He's back like he never left. He is the senior partner of it's Okonji Wanjira and Associates Advocates. It is Martin Okonji Wanjira is in studio. Thank you very much for coming through, Wakili. And you know what? Next week we shall be able to tell you how you can basically touch base with him. All right, so that you can seek proper guidance. That said, let's jump to it. Now today you asked this question, and this one is multifaceted. Somebody wrote in and says, hi Wakili, I was raised by adoptive parents, and although they did not formally adopt me through the legal process, they took me in after my mother, who was a teenage mom, passed away when I was just a few months old. Now, as an adult, I have traced my roots and found my biological father. I have a few questions. Do I have any legal entitlement to inherit from my biological father? 1. 2. If I pursue this, would I risk losing the inheritance my adoptive father has already included me in his will? 3. And lastly, since my adoptive father did not legally adopt me, could his biological children contest my status as his child? Miriam, you say Mariam, these are good questions.
Those are very good questions.
There's one thing, and this is a lot of a big fear that I see that a lot of adoptive parents have.
Yes.
This thing that I call it cat on a hot tin roof. The children that they adopt. Mm-hmm. Why is there always this thing of I must find my biological
instinct? I guess.
Does it not feel that? Does it not make parents feel that, are we a failure? Are we not enough?
No, people just want to know where they came from. They want to know their roots. They want to know where they got certain traits. Yeah, it's curiosity. It's just instinct.
You want to know where they got certain traits.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with
the
you.
chicken will always come back
Yes.
to roost.
Yes.
When we talk about certain traits, and we don't want to open that Pandora's box again, yeah, the mother knows the father.
Yes.
Yeah? So how come children never? Okay, this trait. Oh, okay, but that trait must. If the mother was a player, the traits will come from one party at least.
Yes.
At least you have one. If it's not your father, this one is your mother. But both.
Yes. You need to know, ne?
Yes.
So this you understand.
Yeah.
Okay. And Wakili, how does that process work, by the way? Is it a private investigator, or aren't those things closed in Kenya, by the way? When you talk about
the files, when you adopt someone?
Yes.
The adoption process.
Yes. Can a child just, okay, fine, I've hit 18. Who do I go to? Where do I start? Do I come to your practice and say, advocate, now, Mariam is my mom, but yeah, fantastic. I want to find my real mom.
If you've been to children's court,
yes,
you will see that the children's names are usually put in initials.
Thank you.
If you are called Martin Okonji Wanjira, they put MOW.
Bus.
That is to safeguard the privacy of the child.
Of the child.
Right.
Yes. So I have not adopted any, but it applies. It applies. That process has to be safeguarded. And 2, sometimes, even when someone wants to go back to know his or her roots, people will go with different intentions.
Indeed.
Maybe he'll come back rebellious. Why did you
give me up?
Give me out.
Yes.
You get. Yes. Not everyone comes back with good intentions.
Right.
That is why those particular things are because as a parent, when you give out your child for adoption, you are waiving all your rights as a child of that child from you. The only thing a child cannot lose is the birthright, which I'm actually starting to
you'll get
there. Okay. Because that one you can never.
Yes. Give. Okay.
You get me.
It cannot be taken away.
You can. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So for somebody who's listening to you right now, Wakili, and obviously this would be a lady, and she is pregnant, and asking herself, you know what? And usually, I'm assuming most people are either. Anyway, let me not assume. How does one go about giving up a child? I don't know if this is a fair question. Giving up a child for adoption in this jurisdiction. Do I come to you? Do I go to the police station and say,
At one point, actually, the government had stopped that.
Yes.
Actually, they had stopped it in relation to international adoptions.
Because of trafficking and all of that nonsense.
Exactly.
Right.
Again, other circumstances, poverty, someone tells you how many children do you have, I'm giving you 100K per child.
I remember there was that Bishop Dare case. Ne?
Yes.
Right. Yes.
So you say 100,000, no problem. I'll give birth again next year. Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes poverty can make you do things you did not intend to do.
Right.
Because now you can't feed them.
Right.
Someone wants to give them a better life.
Right.
And at the back of your head, this one will come back home.
Right, exactly.
When he's 18, he'll be taken to states somewhere.
Indeed.
Yes.
No, so what does
it is a process?
What does a lady
do? Like a marriage thing. It starts. The person, mostly that particular person who is given the child does not know who is adopting. The institutions that deal with that, they are the vettings that they do for to the person who is adopting.
Right.
Most of the things actually lie on the person adopting.
Oh, okay.
Because they have to check to see that this child will be well taken care of.
Right.
The person giving out the child really doesn't have much.
Right.
Because they have already decided I am.
Right.
Yes. Right. But two, they have to also to look at other avenues. Even if you're a single mother, where is the father? Could the father opt to take the child instead of giving it to a stranger? You get?
Right.
Those are things they have to look at.
Right.
Yes.
So
it is a tiresome process.
The question that Kwach had asked earlier was, once you give up the rights, do they close that file so that this child is not able to access it through that particular institution?
It's a classified document.
Okay.
Yes. You cannot just go back and say, this and this, no.
Okay.
Because they change your name, the passport comes in the name of the person who has adopted you,
Right.
Yes.
So in this our jurisdiction, it's not easy, Esquire. For
internally,
yes.
It's not that it is not easy. Us Kenyans, or customarily, we like doing things kienyeji. So many people have been adopted outside here.
That is true.
And they don't know.
Yes.
If your father and mother died and your uncle is not staying with you, you are adopted.
Yeah.
You get? But we don't like doing things formally. We just like doing things kienyeji. But there are so many people who have been adopted outside here. If you go to your village, you'll know.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
That one of they say the child was thrown.
And
that one is just from the next house. Anyway, okay then, Wakili, let's break this down one by one. According to that, the laws of this our republic, does this individual have any legal entitlement to inherit from the biological father? And that one, you've alluded to it, that you cannot.
Yes. So automatically,
yes,
he has a right to inherit from the father, biological father.
I like that. Hata kama hajaandikwa kwa hiyo will,
he can contest.
I like that.
Yes.
Fantastic. And so, okay, very good. So that's number one.
There's no but there. Yes, yeah.
That will require a DNA tester.
Sorry?
Will the court demand for a DNA test?
If there's need, no problem.
Oh, yes, and that
to determine.
Yes, because that reminds me of, obviously no names mentioned, of that guy who looked like a former president who went and said,
yes.
Yes. Now they have decided to settle that matter out of court.
Out of court, yeah.
You see? Yeah. Okay, I like that. So number two, would this individual risk losing the inheritance of the adoptive father that has already included this individual in the will?
At this point, there are two issues. Yes. We're talking about a will.
Yes.
A will seals his rights to inherit.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Unless there was no will, then you could be a bit worried.
Yes.
But the will is there. Yes. Even if these children are to go and contest, even when you contest a will, you must have substance as to why you are contesting it. Another thing is, you can actually go to court and seek to inherit portion of someone if you are a dependent. If I used to stay with you, even if you didn't adopt me, you are paying me school fees and this, and then you die, I can go as a dependent.
Wakili Okoji, what you're saying is, for example, my cousin from Simenya,
Yes.
comes to live in that my mother's house.
Yes. Yes.
Because they are here in Nairobi. And this one is shamba ya mawe.
Yes.
Amekuja kujitegemea.
Yes.
Then lives there for, next thing you know, it's 6-7 years down the road. Na Kasinda is still just running around that house.
Yes.
Uko in Runda. Sababu ya unanielewa?
Yes.
Then obviously you are born to die. Then Jakababa goes.
Yes.
You mean he can wake up one day and say, hey, me, I was dependent on this person?
It depends with how that person found himself or herself in that house.
Yes.
I see.
If he came by consent, if he came with Nyamira Express,
Yes.
but the mother sent her with some monyaluo, that he's just coming here to survive,
He's
but
really
with the
thinking.
consent of the parent. But when you, at your own volition, goes home and takes this particular
Where
fare,
Seja, yeah, let's go to Nairobi.
you get?
I show you things.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
now you could have, he knew how he was surviving there.
Bas.
You get? But today I'm talking about someone who you've taken from
Yes.
Nini,
Yes.
when the person was young.
Let me take this child
I'm not
and
talking
educate
about
them.
someone
Yes.
who was in the university
Bas.
and then now came to crash at your house. You know?
Let me take this person to the county, to the city, I educate them.
Yes.
That happens a lot in our culture.
Yes.
Yes.
Because now it is you they know as a father and mother.
Mariam,
Where do you want them to go?
you've got this worried look on your face. Are you about to throw some
no.
distant relatives out of your house?
No, my mind has
Get out.
my mind has gone very far, by the way.
Where is it
Because
gone?
I'm just wondering, does it happen with also a woman that you are supporting?
Wow. You see, you had to go there.
Yeah, that's why my face was just like, okay.
Oh, so you
Supporting,
If you are supporting a woman
it depends
for
again.
like 10 years, 15 years.
No, I know what she's trying. Even
Yeah.
you know what she's trying to say.
as a mubabas or
No. As in you went and told that woman. So you come. I've taken you, not marriage. You know, they're not the parents. Nimekutoa kwa hii keja. Keja zinakwanga wapi hapa South B. Kwa hii keja. You come to this my house.
Yes.
I've got you, baby. I've got you.
So you stay with the lady.
Yes.
And you went and took her from her house. Umetuma hata pick up.
You know, what was the intent
Okay.
of taking her from that place? Was she coming as a boy, as a wife? There has to be something.
As a
She's-
companion.
You see now that there's compassion. Yes. Then there she has a right. You've talked compassion.
Yes.
Yes, she can claim.
Yes. So
You know, there's a ruling to the.
are your friends listening? Am I you're going to advise them after this?
I'm hoping they're listening. I'll send them this video.
There's a ruling to the effect that come we stay, not necessarily
Yeah.
adduce a marriage. However, if the intention of these people
Was a marriage.
was in itself a marriage, then it is a marriage.
How does she prove there was intention that she was going to be married? Ama, you have to be
Now
in the public domain.
she knows your brothers, your grandfather. She's been to your uncle's funeral.
I see. Yes.
You know.
Yes. As you enter the month of February, sasa unasikia. You see, hey, why legal Tuesday is important?
You've been in that
unasikia.
person from time immemorial.
Bas.
Yes.
And
Bas.
yes,
Okay, good.
because your
Like
lives
that.
are now your lives are now interconnected.
Yes.
This is very educative. Thanks, Wakili. So finally, since the adoptive father did not legally adopt this individual, could the biological children contest the status?
Actually,
Assumed.
I was still at that point.
Sorry,
because
yes.
that point actually.
The point number 2.
Yes.
Sorry.
The issue of the
Contesting.
Being
Yes.
included.
Adoption has no this or that. You're either adopted or you're not. You cannot say, I was in between being adopted and then he died. For example, another thing, if today you want to divorce, and during that period when you have a petition to divorce, the spouse dies or you die, you have not divorced. Because a decree of the court had not been issued.
So
by
if,
that
if, so
time.
if you're in the divorce process and one party passes away, that
Yes.
divorce is not final.
Yes.
Wow.
Like for Cohen.
Ah.
You get me?
Yes.
Yes.
I see. Yes.
You are now a widow.
Yes.
You've changed status from a divorcee.
Okay.
Yes. So this process, once it is complete,
There are no gray areas.
yes, once it is complete
Yes.
is when you are adopted. So he was just a dependent.
Oh.
That is the only way he can approach it under the law of succession. He was dependent of this person who he calls an adoptive father. And there's a law of succession actually identifies that as a way that you can claim a portion of the deceased. Yes. So they cannot deny him that. He has every right like any other, like his biological children.
Good one.
Yes.
This is very educative.
Very.
Okay. So now, Akili, wow, anti-flies when you're having fun. You have broken down the law. You have now told us the legalities. Now, Akili, this client is sat across from you. Advise on those 3 salient points. Advise this individual, they're listening. What does one do next? You've told us that the law, fantastic, thank you. What advice are you giving this person?
Well, what I can tell him from his scenario here, he has nothing to worry about. He is very well cushioned by the law. The only can see where he only had a doubt was whether he can inherit from his biological father.
Indeed.
Yes, but in terms of his brothers on the other side,
Yes.
he should not have an issue.
Right.
In terms of his biological father, he has a right.
Yes.
Yes,
And
you
there-
can never
Yes.
waive your birthright.
Come on. Birthright.
Yes, that one you can't. That is why you see Miguna had issues with his passport.
Yes.
He was saying I was born in Kenya.
Yeah.
Even if I have 2 whatever.
Yes. So what?
Yes, you cannot still do that.
Right.
Yes. You can never waive your birthright.
So listen. So even as a parent
You
cannot
can
say
just have dual citizenship, but one will still be Kenyan.
bus.
You cannot float somewhere. Yes.
So, but just to be clear, even a parent cannot say you cannot be disinherited, bro.
Never.
Ah,
Yes.
Unless it's in a will. If you
Even in a will, I can contest that will.
you cannot
Get
be
out.
disinherited.
Yes, as long as you are my father and you didn't put me there, I will go to court and
no.
No, what I meant is
it has
if he
been
has
stated.
yes, stated. If he has stated it in the will that I have inherited this person.
he can't.
What?
Yes. Even if he writes it explicitly that I'm not giving, you cannot. Because now you are trying to waive my birthright.
What?
You get me? You as the father, you want to waive that birthright. You are
Umesikia?
trying to say,
Umesikia?
I am not your father. Yes.
Yes.
You are trying to. That is what your statement you're trying to say.
One question:
Please.
can you sue your mother to tell you who your father is?
Sasa tumeenda mbali.
And it goes to
Hii story imekusumbua wiki mbili.
no, it goes to no, it goes to inheritance issues because I know
yes, of course.
I know of
Yes.
very many children, especially boys, who want to know who their
Yes,
father is,
okay,
but their
yes.
mother deny them
Okay.
that chance, even if
By the way.
even if they're struggling, sometimes their mothers deny them
Okay. That's true, by the way.
to know who their father is. And of course, as we said, every child has a right to inherit. So if my mother refuses to tell me who my father is, can I sue her?
Let me start from choices have consequences. Some children outside here, even those fathers don't know that
they are the fathers.
They are the fathers.
That's true.
In that, we have reached a point as a society. A lady would say, I don't want to be with a man, but I want a child. So you look for a sperm donor.
Yes.
Then after that, she disappears.
Yes.
So how can she even be able to trace you? You know, if she decided, I don't want to get married, but I want to have a child. You get me?
And that we know, Mariam, happens a lot.
So many.
Yeah, it does.
Let me tell you, so many women do that, and they say, I don't want support. I don't want anything. Yes. So you see, once this child now grows and says wants to see the father, you know, this man also has another family. You are going to actually interfere with so many people's emotions. I've never seen such a suit. I'm yet to see one, but it is impossible, because if I tell you your father died, you sue me and then I write my response. Your father died. You went to Afghanistan, died there.
Yes.
Yes. Or when you are still in the womb, he went to where he jumped to the roof and, you know, or he went to Italy, never came back.
Yeah.
Answers, if a parent or that lady wants to, if she wants you to know your father, she'll tell you. Leave it at that.
I love this.
If she doesn't show you your father, also leave it at that.
Okay.
Deal with it, huh?
Yes. And you see, mostly, these, you know, sometimes people, that's what I'm telling you, it is a process.
Yes.
Even some, when the father and the mother leave one another, when, let's say, the child was young, this particular person usually, mostly, I've witnessed it, mostly from the Kikuyus, he settles the lady. Yes. Plus,
What
even
does that
inheritance.
mean? What does that mean? Settles?
She gives the lady property,
Oh, I see.
which
Yes.
is even
Yes.
enough for the child to
Yes.
inherit.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So you're
Yes.
told to go,
Yes.
naenda ukiendaga
Yeah.
ile shamba ya Kigirinyaga wapi
Bas, hiyo
kaa
yako.
huko,
Yes.
na hiyo ndio itakuwa kijana.
Kwa kijana.
Yes.
Yes, na sitaki kusikia mambo ingine.
Eh.
Yes. The child doesn't even attend the funeral.
Eh.
Yes.
But these other ones, that's from the Kavirondo Basin. It's like God for one, all for one, and God for all.
Exactly.
Good luck to you.
Yes.
Godspeed.
Yes.
Congratulations, success.
But these ones, mzee went somewhere and by mistake, this and this. He settles the lady. He even goes and buy land somewhere and tell her,
Bas.
fanya hivi.
Yes.
Me have a family, even I don't want
Bas.
stay there
Bas.
with that child.
Bas.
Don't ever.
Bas.
Yes.
Foresight, I tell you. Wow. Advocate Martin Okonji Wanjira Esquire, thank you so much, my brother. It's you did a brilliant job. So before you go, right? Time flies. How does one touch base with you?
Well, through email or phone call.
Okay.
My number is 0703 805 992.
One more time.
0703 805 992.
Sharp.
My email is okonjiwanjiraadvocates@gmail.com.
Very good job.
You can also visit me at Ajipal's 6th floor, flat number 8.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, just before you go, and this one it's been bugging me. You know, and this is not a sexist statement, but there were heads of parastatals and such like things, you know, IBC, that and our president likes doing certain things over the weekend. Okay, now you know he calls me not to call him Esquire, must call him advocate. Okay,
Yes.
for he's from the Kavirondo Basin, yeah, the land of many engineers and doctors, you
And
know, such
doctors.
like things. So there's the Engineering Society of whatever, IEC, okay, and they get, you know, the president made an appointment here.
Yes.
Yes, and one Honorable Katana Aisha Jumwa,
Jumwa, yeah.
and she was made the chairperson. Engineers like, oh no, she's not. Oh no. Ata Boraulete Sudi. Maybe no, that's no.
Yeah.
I say that in jest. I do withdraw and apologize. Can they sue? Can you block? Is it block or
Stop an appointment?
Yes, stop a presidential appointment.
Yes, without a doubt. She won't enter that office. I'm telling you. You know we are jokers. Kenyans you know we are jokers. Now someone as a diploma in county governance. That's because she was in JKUAT. You know, JKUAT is an engineering university. So I think that is where they went wrong. JKUAT. So they thought JKUAT is only engineers.
I'm made to understand this particular board, and I don't know why I saw it today, but the name was forwarded because she's the chairperson of the Kenya Transporters Association. Did you see that?
Who?
This Dumwa.
Now, transport.
Yes.
Transport is like being the chairman of 20K SACCO.
No.
Or what are you talking about?
You'll find those SACCO members waiting for you outside this gate. But you see, I think the logic is these are the people who also use the roads, and most of these roads, it's a Kenya Roads Board. What is it, by the way? I don't know what is. That's to a particular body, but so that is how she was forwarded. Now,
listen, the simplest thing is this.
Yes.
Let us not go.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
She is not a member of any of the professional bodies. And
Simple.
that is one of the requirements.
Bas.
It's like telling me,
Yes.
today you can be a judge without being an advocate. Simple. That transport SACCO is not a professional body. Why are you wasting time? We should go have tea. It's cold.
I like the way he just cuts to the chase.
Yeah, you know. This one time beat around the bush.
We are giving her a lot of airtime. You know, this one, even when you go to court, you don't write so many things. Just go with one paragraph.
Yes.
She is not a member of a professional board.
Yes. That's
And
it.
you wait for a ruling.
Bas.
Yes.
It's a sentence, not even
Yes. That's one sentence. And you know, let her tell us which professional body she is from.
Hey.
You know.
Wakili Okonji, thank you so very much, Advocate Wanjiru Okonji Martin. Thank you so very much for coming through.
Yes.
We shall see you. And remember, so this, you see, he's directed to the point.
Yes, very.
And the other one is, he's more user friendly. We can't wait to see
He's a
both
diplomat.
of them. Yes, you can't wait to see both of them in studio next Tuesday. So do not forget, if you've got that legal question, it's all about Legal Tuesdays. Get on to X. It is hashtag Spice Drive, hashtag Kwachis Court, hashtag Legal Tuesdays. Advocate, we'll see you next Tuesday. Asante sana. One more time, that's your phone number, 0703
805 992.
And then the email.
Wanjiru Advocates at gmail.com.
Sharp, man. See you next week. Baba.
Asante
Thank
sana.
you.
Thank you.